So today we will be continuing my series of trying to save money from buying from the tool truck guy and then just buying from who the tool truck guy is getting their tools made from. And today's example would be Bahco. Bacho is a Swedish company. They were founded in mid-1800s history, and then Snap-on bought them, and now they're part of Snap-on's little tool group there that they have make their tools. I personally have the Snap-on 12-inch version and the 6-inch version of the Bahco made adjustable wrenches. I had two more in between these, and I lost them, or they got borrowed permanently. But yeah, and I've always been happy with these, and I knew Bahco was making them for them, so I figured let's give it a try. We're definitely going to be saving a little bit of money if they're any good. Just because one company makes another company stuff and they're coming out of the same factory doesn't necessarily make the same tool. I mean, ITT or TTI. People who make Milwaukee and Ryobi, no one's going to argue that Milwaukee is a Ryobi. Well, some people will, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do here today, to see if you can actually save money by buying straight from Bahco instead of off of the Snap-on truck. One thing that I can say is that the warranty off the Snap-on truck, if you have a Snap-on truck available to you, is, there's none better. You hand a guy a broken tool and he hands you a new tool to replace it, or he orders it and he hands it to you next time you see him. You can't beat that. But if you're like me or a lot of other people and you don't have access to a Snap-on truck, it's got a lifetime warranty. You got to send it in mail and all that stuff, and pretty much the same thing you'll get with the other brands as far as exchanging the warranties. So yeah, so let's kind of take a look down at the stuff, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on adjustable wrenches in general. Where I like to use them, what I look for as far as quality in them, and we'll go from there. And I will say this right here, it's just tennis elbow, old man stuff, and this makes it feel better. So yeah, let's take a look down. So here we go. I got these guys over here just for demonstration reasons, but let's take the two 6-inchers. The kit that I bought comes with a 6. I believe this is the 8. Yes, it is, and this would be the 10. The original kit I bought from Snap-on went from 12 to 6, and there was a 10 and an 8 would be in here. Again, I lost, borrowed, stolen the other two in this kit. To be fair, this kit's like 20 years old, so the fact I got 2 left, I'm pretty proud of myself. Now, comparing side by each here, Snap-on compared to Bahco, it looks like they might have changed their molding. There's a little bit more of a gap down here. Not too much of a worries about that goes, but yeah, it should be mentioned. I will say I did notice the Snap-on one has, hopefully I could get you to see that. I gotta catch the light just right. There you go. It's got that, I believe what Snap-on calls that is their flank drive deal. It's just a little bit extra serrations on the thing, just to give you a little bit more of a bite on the fastener, whereas to the Bahco is just smooth. Now I will say, as far as that goes, the serrations they do help you out just as far as gripping onto a fastener. My personal opinion on it, and this is probably a little bit of OCD on my end of it, these kind of gall up fasteners. So if I'm doing like a brass fitting on a LP or a propane system on a forklift, it kind of galls them up, and that kind of bugs me. Like I said, that's just my personal thing. Whether or not it helps that much, I don't know, but that's what I'm getting at. Now, as far as the grips go, this is the part where I contradict myself, and I've said in an earlier video with the screwdrivers that I was looking at, the Williams screwdrivers, I said that I'm not that big of a fan as far as soft grips go, but I probably would call this the exception to that rule, mostly because your standard adjustable wrenches, this real thin profile, and you got all these nice tendons inside your hand here, and it just kind of digs into them. not very comfortable as far as that old in the hand feel. But I mean, like I said, it's just a personal preference type thing. Nice thing about these is that you can beat the crap out of these with a hammer and not worried about screwing them up. Whereas to these, you either have to just beat on it down here or use like a soft blow on here to really get some smacking action going on. Now, getting into what I actually look for when I'm picking up an adjustable wrench and trying to figure out if I think it's any good or not. First thing, of course, you know, the old in the hand feel, which these things pass with flying colors. Anyone who's ever used one of these, you know, it's got a nice feel to it. The other thing that I'm looking for is, as far as this here movable jaw, I guess we'll call it a dynamic jaw if I want to make you guys think I sound smart. But yeah, what you want to do with this is, I mean, you got the little worm drive down here. Now you're always going to have a little bit of play going back and forth here because there's got to be clearance for this thing to come in and out. The play that you don't want to see, especially in a new wrench because it's just going to get worse over time, is play going this direction over here. Now it's kind of, the worm drive's kind of making it look like it's moving, but this one has very little play back and forth as compared to, say, this cheap Pittsburgh one that I bought just because it's nice. It opens up wide and it's got a short handle, but you kind of get a sense for what I'm talking about here. It's just got a heck of a lot of slop going back and forth. The reason that's important is for when you're grabbing onto a fastener. You want these jaws to be pretty much parallel when you're crimping down onto the fastener. I will say, let me grab something real quick. Yeah, you know what? I was going to draw a picture, but let's just do it this way. Probably just as easy to do. Let's get the worst offender out of the lot on here. And this is the bigger one. It's not too bad, but okay. You know, I just looked up this guy. GAJ15A Blue Point 15-inch, and this guy's selling for almost $100. Holy smokes, they are just jacking those prices up over there on the tool trucks. That's insane. I know I didn't pay that much for this one, but anyway, back on topic. As some of you probably already know, that there is a right way and a wrong way to use an adjustable wrench. The right way to use an adjustable wrench is you got your dynamic jaw. You always want to be torquing towards a dynamic jaw as compared to this. Now, if you ever post a video on any form of social media, you will get flogged in the comments if you ever put the torque on a fastener on an adjustable wrench going this way. And that's just how people are. They have nothing better to do than to point out little inconsistencies. And the thing is with that is, it doesn't, once the bolt's loose, it doesn't matter because you're not putting any torque on it. You're just spinning it loose. When you're actually breaking it loose, that's when it matters. And the reason is, I'm going to try to show this as best I can. Like I was saying, with this dynamic jaw having this little bit of play here, what happens is that these two jaws, instead of being parallel, that dynamic jaw kicks out like that. So now you kind of have a wedge situation going on there. So when you put your fastener into the wrench, and I'll open it up a little bit just kind of give you a better idea what's going on here. If this dynamic jaw bends outward and you're turning this way, when this edge of the flat or the corner of the flat hits this wrench as you're turning it, it's getting looser because this is kind of a ramp going in that direction. Whereas to when you have it on this angle here and the flat up here is turning into it, it's actually pushing it deeper into the wedge, making it tighter. So like I said, if you ever post yourself using an adjustable wrench, make sure you always turn it from this angle, because then angry people will make comments on your video that you're using the wrench wrong. So that little demonstration aside, let's kind of clear the wrench, or clear the playing field here, get stuff out of the way. And we'll go back to just snap-on in the Bahco. Again, I'm thinking, mouse just fell off there. I'm actually kind of filling out some missing pieces there. I was kind of thinking that on this Amazon, they measure these in metric dimensions, and I didn't look it up. I just assumed what this was in metric was a 12. It's actually a 10. Not a big deal because I got a 12. But yeah, I mean, as far as the look and feel of things, I mean, of course, obviously the Snap-on's chrome adds a little bit of cost to it. I will say that the Snap-on markings on the side of it over 20 plus years of use are basically invisible, whereas I kind of see these being a little bit better. They probably got better at laser etching over the years. The reason that's nice is because, you know, you got a hole, you can't really see it. You kind of stick the wrench down inside there, you tighten it over the fastener, you pull it out, and you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, I need a 30 millimeter. It's nice. I mean, anyone who's ever done it knows what I'm talking about. Sticking with the markings on the side of the thing, it's kind of funny. The Amazon listing for these is metric adjustable wrenches, so don't dare use these on SAE, I guess. It's like a left-handed monkey wrench. I don't know what they were getting at there, but I guess they're getting that from this only has the metric markings on it and no SAE, whereas to the Snap-on one has both markings, again, that you can no longer read because they have been rubbed off from years of wear. So, yeah, I mean, it's just an adjustable wrench, aside from the minor differences that we pointed out, which I don't consider to be a deal breaker as far as what's going on with these. I think they're just as good as the old Snap-on ones I had. Yeah, I mean, they're nice wrenches. It's just an adjustable wrench. What more can I say about it? Yeah, that's about it. So, that is it for a 3-piece set of Bahco adjustable wrenches. I did forget to mention in the video, if you're looking at just buying a single one, 10 inch is 9072, 8 inch is 9071, and the 6 inch is 9070. Easy enough to remember. I did check on Snap-on's website sucks. I'm sorry. You can't find stuff that you know is there, and it stinks. I did find the set of Snap-on wrenches with the 2 in the middle, which this would be 12, 6, 10, and 8, on eBay. Brand new for like $530. This one 6-inch Snap-on wrench I did find on their website because I have the number for it, and this particular wrench by itself is $92.75. You know what, I could probably, if I could see the number, I could probably look up this one and tell you how much the 12-inch is. There it is. They changed the number from a 12G to a 12C, unless I'm reading that right now. It's definitely a G. But yeah, the 12C, this is $173. So this set right here, the Bahco set that I bought, I got off of Amazon for a little less than $80. Blue Point has a more similar set like this, which is $160. So again, like I said, I can't really see there's that much difference between any of these wrenches. They are adjustable wrenches, and yeah, why spend all that extra money when you could get basically the same tool for a cheaper price? And that's what these videos are about. I will say that I'm prepared for the person in the comments who's going to tell me, just use a real wrench. By you saying that, I know that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because yes, I don't use this for taking lugs off of cars, but I mean, hydraulic fittings, you know, you need something that'll open 30 millimeters, but you need a shorter handle. You're bending sheet metal. Adjustable wrenches are for more than just nuts and bolts. And yeah, like I said, someone always makes that comment, just use a real wrench, and it is a real wrench. It's just, I don't know. People are angry. Probably has something to do with their lack of ability to please a woman. Don't take that out of my comment section, damn it. So, anyway, tangent aside, that's it for this video. Any comments, concerns, anything of that matter, you could take a look down in the old comments section and leave your comment there. I'll leave a link to these in the description if you are interested. And yeah, that's about it for this video. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go. So this guy, he's having elbow pains, kind of like I'm having, right? So he makes an appointment with the doctor. Goes to the doctor's office. He sits down. The nurse does the thing with the vital signs and asks him all the questions that he already filled out on that paper in the other waiting room. Checks his vitals and hands him a little cup and says, yeah, we're going to need a urine sample. The guy's thinking to himself, what the heck do you need a urine sample for? It's my elbow, whatever. So he complies. He fills up the cup, sits down in there, and he's waiting for the doctor. The doctor walks into the room, barely even acknowledges that he's sitting there, grabs the urine sample and pours it into this little machine in the corner. Machine's making all this kinds of noise, and like 10 seconds later, a little receipt prints out, and he's reading it. He says, you got yourself a bad case of tennis elbow. He's like, I'm going to need you to take one of these braces home with you, give you some anti-inflammatories. Here's another pee cup. Come back in 2 weeks and we'll see how you're doing. This guy's thinking to himself. He's like, how does he know all this from a urine sample? So what he does is he goes home, waits his 2 weeks, and he has his wife pee a little bit in it. Then he has his daughter pee a little bit in it. Gets his dog, puts a little dog pee in there. Takes the oil from his truck, puts a couple of drops in there, and then he put a little baby batter in the thing, and he's like, we'll see what this machine can really do. So 2 weeks later, he's got his urine sample in hand, goes back to the doctor's office. They do the whole, run him through the whole spiel again. Doctor comes in, grabs the urine sample off the thing, pours it into the machine. It's doing its beeps, its pops, and its clicks. 10 seconds later, a little receipt pulls out. It's a little bit longer than the last one, and he says, well, looks like your daughter's pregnant. Your wife is cheating on you. Your dog has heartworm. Your truck needs an oil change. And if you don't stop choking your chicken, your tennis elbow is never going to get any better. There you go.